see me. I'm sure you can. Okay, so this is going to be just a redo of the Shadowscape companion. This is the companion book. And it's not like the other one where you can write notes and stuff in it, but interesting little things. So, the pictures. And
that's what I got looking.
what? The thing?
Yeah. This
Cool.
cool. I replaced it with another like one that had the same voltage.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
That's alright. Alright, so now to the cards. Now that you can probably see them better, I will I'll start with alright, yeah, they're the right way. Okay, so you can see it. Doo-doo. This is the Three of Swords. This is the Justice card. What do you need? Can't quite see. The Justice card. The Emperor reminds me of the Stag. Page of Cups. Ace of Cups. There's no reverse meanings. Six of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Temperance. Eight of Cups. Today's card was the King of Swords. That was like one of my favorites. Here's the Two of Cups. Two of Cups kind of reminds me of the Lovers. I get to them. The Hierophant. Ace of Wands. The wands have foxes in them. The King of Swords. Yep. Knight of Swords. That's the Knight of Swords. Sorry. Here's the Queen of Wands. You can tell the wands are fiery and have foxes. Here's the Eight of Pentacles. Ten of Cups. The colors are just, they're darker, not as cheery, but they're beautiful beautiful cards. Three of Wands. Wands are more, they have your foxes and red hues, while the swords have more kind of like a purplish tint, and your airy creatures like your swans and your butterflies and stuff like that. That is the Seven of Pentacles. Your Pentacles are more your green colors and earth animals. Seven of Swords. Two of Wands. Queen of Cups. Yes, dear. Page of Swords. I'm redoing this because the other one was really orange color. And I've learned to see it's more natural now than the orange tint. So that's what we needed to do last time instead of. This is the Seven of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Your aces are your beginnings, and nines are your, I think, your endings. This is the Five of Pentacles. Are you done?
Really? No, I was trying to stay away.
Huh?
I was just trying to stay away.
No, I said, are you done with your room?
Oh no. I just thought
Is there something you needed?
Miles can give me something to drink.
Go get you something to drink then. Why didn't you when you were already in there? We don't have any juice made. Nine of Wands.
I can fix some.
Alright. Five of Cups. Knight of Cups. Yep. Knight of Cups. I'll go through the whole deck here. Judgment. The Chariot. Isn't that pretty? Unicorns, clouds. A lovely castle in the clouds. Nine of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Here's your Five of Wands. The Lovers. See how they're intertwined? Okay, so here's the Lovers. And find the Two of Cups. Okay, so I can show you exactly almost how they are so much alike. You can see this is the Lovers. This is the Two of Cups. This is the Lovers. Both are embraced. So I'm thinking these are a pair. Very much. So these are the ones. Yep. Alright, so moving on. The Hermit. This is my, I guess you would say, the zodiac card is the Hermit. And then there you have the Three of Pentacles. She's so beautiful. She has a crescent moon on her forehead. And you have this beautiful card. That was one of the cards of the day when I first started this deck, using it. The Hangman. And in the book, it tells the tale of Odin and his sacrifices that he has done. There's another one that talks of Odin too, but of his rage. And here's the Nine of Pentacles. She is playing the piano, and it looks like an oak tree is going through the piano. Isn't that pretty? Very vivid colors. Darker colors, but still beautiful nonetheless. Six of Swords. And again, you have a swan. Two of Swords. See, to me, this one, I don't know, the person in the whatever this being is, let's just say being for now on, because I don't know if it's an elf or anybody like that, but he's a very omnipresent. The feeling I get from him or her is very powerful being, yielding the two swords, cross, very powerful. Maybe someone you wouldn't want to cross. But if you look, there is the swans and there's a heart. And I've noticed that's another thing with dealing with the swords. I also see, it looks to be like a snake. And there's wisps. I want to say there's wisps. I do not know what the others are, but there is also a swallow, another swallow. That's the second card I have seen a swallow on. I love swallows. They're like one of my favorite birds. We had them in Sunray growing up. Here's the Empress. She's so pretty and beautiful and regal and just very, very one of my favorite cards in this deck. I have many. Eight of Swords. You see the swan now. She is trapped and she's very frantic, trying to find a way to get out. There's a swan. There's also another swallow in this card. The third card I've seen so far on the swords that have a swallow in them. Maybe there's something to do with the swallows and folklore. Look at that beauty. I would like to know what kind of mythical creature this is, because it is just absolutely gorgeous. And this is the Knight of Wands. Here's another one. This is the Fool. This one's a very beautiful picture. Very, very beautiful. I see an orb and monkeys. Flying monkeys. It looks like. Yeah, she's standing on one that has a flying monkey. There is all sorts of beautiful birds. And they're like swarming around with her with ribbons and stuff. And the other two monkeys are holding a rose and a butterfly, and there's a heart, and there's bees, and there's a fox that is looking straight at her. Fearless. Not thinking before she leaps. So, we're Getting close. Close, close, close. 14 minutes. Wow. A high priestess. Another beautiful card. I think all of them are beautiful though. That's what drew me to them. And you can just... She's holding the pomegranate. And the owl is her messenger. He holds the key of the mysteries. So you can see. Let's see. Oh, this better. Probably is. You can actually see me now. I might have to redo this one. Okay, so next one. Oh, and there's a pomegranate too. Here's the Five of Swords. I see geese. I see black geese. They're either black swans. There's some sort of bird. And in this one, there is no swallow. I don't know why, but still no swallow. The Four of Swords. She holds what looks to be like a dagger in her hand, and then you see the other three above her in a swirl, which is kind of funny because before, when I first started seeing things when I was younger, and I started opening my third eye, I started seeing swirls before anything. It was very aggravating. The Two of Swords. This one has a lot of red tones to it. And what looks to be like ravens. I would have to look that up. And here's the King of Cups. He kind of reminds me of maybe Poseidon with that hair. It looks to be like there's seaweed and sea turtles. You can tell the ocean and seas and waters are his domain. Here's the Queen of Swords. Looks to me like she's holding a bow and arrow. But I think it might be just a crescent. And you can see the butterflies. They're the butterflies. Yep, they're butterflies. Okay, so I've had this one, and I can tell you a little what I remember about this card. The Dragon Lily is a symbol of, what is it? Hold on, let me look it up. But she is holding a dragon lily. My eyes went to the bit of it. Not Queen of Swords. What Queen is she? Yes, Queen of Swords. Okay, here we go. Flowers. In the language of flowers, purple dragon lilies are symbols of inner strength, and the chrysanthemum white is truth. So, just by this picture, we know that this is a card foretelling, if it was in maybe a spread of some sorts. I would say that this is a card of speaking of maybe someone in someone's life that is this way. She is truthful, she is honest, and she is pure, like the white chrysanthemum. Or this might be saying that this person needs to be like this and to be honest and find inner strength and be pure. So, we're almost done. 20 minutes. Da 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 da. 10 of Pentacles. Let's see. I love this one because of the dragon. I'm so much of a dragon fanatic. I love dragons to death. Any kind of dragon, it doesn't matter. This one looks to be more like a European dragon. Maybe not, maybe. There's no wings. Well, I'm saying maybe. Yeah, she looks more of the Oriental descent. So I'm probably saying maybe an Oriental dragon. One that are not winged. So many versions of dragons we have in our world. The Six of Cups. This is a card telling you to be more childlike in certain ways. I can't remember, but I know this is one of childlike behavior, and I gotta reread it. So, where now I have had the Ace of Swords. This is a beautiful card. So you can see this. The swan is looking at the sword. Isn't that beautiful? The swan's eye. As always, aces are new beginnings. And a spread. Beautiful, beautiful. It speaks of, you can see this is an airy card because of the butterflies and the swans. Beautiful card. Here is the Five of Cups. A mermaid. See it better close up like this. A mermaid. And you can see the cups. And there is a fairy. I want to say maybe a demi-fairy. To me, some fairies might be smaller or anything, but to me, they are larger, and the demi-fae are the ones that have the wings and that are like, Tinkerbell, and she is holding a water lily, it looks like, taking it to the mermaid. Another pretty card. So many pretty cards are in this deck. Okay. Oh, here we go. The Death. This card speaks so many languages of transformation, transcending, change, on out with the old, on with the new. But the tale is, it tells the difference between the phoenix and the swan. The swan is tone deaf, is mute until it's until in death. And the swan, though it is mute its whole entire life, sings a beautiful agonizing song. And the last note of the song is its last breath. So, then it goes and it tells about the phoenix and how the phoenix sings of pain because it feels the grips of the scorching death that sends this beautiful bird into ash for it to be reborn and anew. So, while the swan's last breath is its last note of its song, this one sings of pain and agony, and but it knows that its predecessor is a part of it, and therefore the phoenix is a part of its predecessor, and the predecessor is a part of the phoenix. So it is not afraid of dying to be reborn. And if you don't know anything about the phoenix is a bird that is reborn into its ashes. So if it gets sick and it's time to pass and cross, it will go up into flames and then fall as the ashes, and within the ashes is a new phoenix, or a phoenix egg. So this is like a cycle that's happening with the phoenix. So as you can tell with the phoenix and the story, because the story is as old as time itself, this card is ultimately about change and and rebirth and everything. So thus it's not necessarily a depressed card. You know, most people think death, someone's going to die, or anything like that. No, it can mean, there's certain ways of dying. You die of your old self. You put all your old habits away, and you become a new. That is a form of dying. If you have a loved one and they do not consider you family anymore, and they turn their back to you, and you say, okay, well, you're dead to me. They're not really dead, but they no longer exist in your realm and in your circle. Doesn't necessarily mean that they died, but that you had to cut your losses to move on to your next stage of whatever you're going through with the transition. And that's what this card basically foretells. And you can see, she's a very beautiful phoenix. One of my favorite, and a major. So here we have the Six of Wands, and he is holding a wreath of some kind. Looks like a ram. Yep, he's holding a wreath, but maybe it's a crown of some sort. He's standing on a tall branch, and there's wands all over him. And again, there's a lot of hues of reds and oranges in this wand card. Fire. passion. And here we have the magician. This tale of the magician is so different than any one I have ever read or studied on. So there's a little info on the magician card on my deck. That's it. Thank you. The magician was standing on his perch, and he sees the stag. So he goes running after the stag. And when they get to the point of they're staring right at each other, the stag runs away. And where the stag was, the stag left gifts for the magician. Each element was a gift for him. And so you see